Hi, feelscheeki here, and I'm back. So, I know the last couple of videos have been kind of unserious and everything, but I wanted to talk about something a little, I guess, more personal, you could say. Something has been on my mind, and I've been wanting to make this video for forever now. And I've been seeing a lot of people on the internet have this mentality where they want to date to marry, or they don't want to casually date. And I wanted to explore that a little bit, mostly because I'm someone that has had a lot of experiences with dating. I have about a dozen of exes. Dating to marry makes sense, right? It's pretty self-explanatory, and with all the, this generation can't date, this generation is, broken and everything. It kind of feels like a safe option to just find a person and bam bam, you're married. You don't have to ever think about that ever again, because it's scary. It's so scary to go out into this world and find someone. God forbid you go looking for someone and you're unsuccessful. You make a mistake and you have to deal with the heartbreak. The idea of that sounds so terrifying that for some people it's easier to maybe feel like, if I marry that person, I won't ever have to deal with a heartbreak. The idea of a marriage gives you sort of safety in the thought that you will never have to choose. Again, you will never have to deal with heartbreak, whether you've already dealt with it and now you're too terrified to ever look for someone ever again, or you've never had a heartbreak and the idea of it seems so destructive that you would rather not ever have to deal with it. And I know, it's a scary thing, it's a scary thought to lose someone, to put enough trust in someone, to stay with them. And what if they leave? So we kind of get to this idea of marriage being a stable thing, being a thing that is so solid that you cannot break it. But if anything, the divorce rates are at its highest right now. So it's not really about the marriage. The whole idea of dating to marry is based on the insecurity of mistrusting yourself. Not trusting yourself to know that you're gonna be able to get over someone, to get over a heartbreak. You don't trust yourself enough to know that if the person that you're dating is gonna leave you, or if you're gonna fall out of love with them, you don't trust yourself enough to get over it, to move on. And it's not really something that I'm gonna blame people for. It's not something that I'm gonna sit here and judge people for. But I do think that it's a much deeper issue than just, wanting to settle and wanting to live a traditional lifestyle or anything like that. I think dating to marry is a band-aid, if anything. It's comforting to think that you'll find that person, they're gonna be the one, they're gonna be perfect for you, they're gonna match your freak, and everything's gonna be fine, and you're gonna fall in love, and it's gonna be a forever thing, and it's gonna be so easy with them. That's a fantasy in your mind. The truth is, even the healthiest of relationships have disagreements, because people are different. There are different people, we're different people with different kinds of views in the world. And if you never experience sort of growth in a relationship, you'll never learn how to love. And loving is a skill. It's a skill. I know that it's sort of assumed that we as humans innately love, because that's something that we just have in us. It's something that we experience ever since we're born. The love to our mother, the love to our, friends, the love to our food, the love to certain colors, shapes, feelings. It's assumed that you know how to love, but romantic love is a skill. It's a skill that can be learned through relationships that might not work. It's a skill that takes time and a lot of effort to learn how to love somebody else. For some of us to learn to be loved. And that's not something that is easy, because I know that a lot of us come from maybe troubled childhoods where our love wasn't, ideal, whatever that means. But loving is a skill. Even if, consider, you find the one, the person, that's a human being. That's a complex human being that you're being with. That's a whole human with their own set of, beliefs, insecurities, their own set of feelings that aren't like yours. And if you don't know how to love them, if you don't know how to handle them, if you don't know how to communicate your feelings properly, and I know that I sound like a broken record because everybody's saying that you need to communicate your feelings, you need to do this and this and that. All this talk, it's true, unfortunately. You cannot assume that you know how to love somebody. And love in that sense isn't just a feeling that you feel. Love in a relationship is just a moving power that gets you through some things, right? But if it's a relationship, love isn't enough. It's not enough to get you through your disagreements, your differences. Even if you marry that person, that doesn't guarantee that they're not gonna leave because you don't know how to love them or because they don't know how to love you. Your love is like a muscle that you need to work out in order for it to stay in shape. It's not a given. Just because you marry someone, it's not a guarantee. Humans aren't, appliances that come with a guarantee that they're not gonna expire at some point. So is love. Love doesn't come with a promise. Loving in a relationship and stay in a relationship is a skill that is learned through maybe trials and errors and heartbreaks and pain and suffering. And suffering is the essence of a human experience. And suffering allows you to understand when the good time is coming, when the good feeling is coming, and trusting yourself enough to know that you'll pull yourself through the suffering and pain of a heartbreak. That's what makes true love worth it. It's not a waste of time to date casually. Anytime you're in love, it's not a waste. It doesn't matter if it's gonna end up in a marriage or not. Loving is never a waste. And I think it's beautiful. I guess my conclusion to that is, please don't be afraid to get into a relationship, even if it's not a forever thing, because you never know if it's going to be a forever thing. You never know if it's going to grow into something so much bigger than just a casual thing. You can never tell. You can never tell if the person that you're falling in love with is going to be the one. Maybe they will be. But also, please don't be scared. Don't fear the pain or heartbreak. It's going to hurt, okay? But the beautiful thing about that is, it's gonna heal. You can date and break up and fall in love again. I promise you. Let go of that fear. Go date somebody. It doesn't have to be a forever thing. Or it can be. You can never tell. Yeah. I guess that's what I've been meaning to talk about. Bye bye. Love you.